Another YouTube comment. Food for thought. Keeping it real. Knowing the history of the African American males and people in the United States of America, it is sad to say that we have come to a point today where as though lynching has become a point of outright shooting and killing African Americans. The sad part about it is today it is being more videoed. This has been happening in the United States of America for years of unvideotaped killings of African Americans in the United States of America. But today, knowing the history of our culture in the United States of America in 2015 to have the events that are happening today makes me want to cry. I say that seriously, it makes me want to cry. There's no stopping the killings of African American males and people in the United States. There's no stopping it. We are killing each other, and there's no sense of urgency about that. And then we have people of statue that are paid to protect and serve the community in the United States of America, and they are killing normal citizens on a large scale, but the African American male is being killed on a larger scale than any other race in the United States of America. And no one seems to think that that is a sense of urgency to stop. I don't have to talk about the names. This is 2015 November, Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. And Tuesday they had a videotape that was released about an incident that happened a year ago concerning an African American male teenager that was shot down by a police officer that happens to be white. And this video has made an uproar, but at the same time, there was a killing by another African American male at 24 years old, handcuffed, a day before the video was released, if not a day, maybe a week, but that was a current event. But this video was past event. So this is what I'm saying. And this is public news. This is 2015 November. And this is public news today. And there's no one seems as though there's a sense of urgency concerning the African American male deaths that are happening on a large scale. And the most recent victim, if I'm not mistaken, his name is Clark. This is the most recent victim, as in November 2015, of an African American male that was shot by a white officer. And this is recent news. And there are other incidents that are happening across the planet. But in the United States of America, the African American male is being killed. Deaths. I'm not talking about being locked up, but deaths on a large scale in the United States of America, not just by our own self, but by other people. And when the deaths happen with black on black crimes, it's not looked upon as if a black person killed a white person. It's not as serious. When it's a black on black crime, everyone knows that's nothing new. I'm not going to dwell upon that. But today in 2015, it's not stopping. Nothing is stopping to save the African American race in the United States, because when you kill off the men won't have, to be able to produce, to have their race, continue. When the deaths of the African American male is on a larger scale than the men that went over to war. The men that went over to war to fight in Iraq and Iran and Afghanistan. Those deaths that happened with the soldiers, I'm sorry that these deaths happen and the wounded, but these deaths in America by African American male is on a larger scale than that. And that's sad to say. In the United States of America, that the African American male is being killed more than a soldier at war. And no one seems to care. It continues on year after year. These stats just keep going and going and going, and no one seems to care. And I say that only because there seems to be nothing, government, private, no one's speaking or doing or saying or trying to do anything to stop this dilemma. It's a big dilemma in the United States of America. It's huge the way the African American males are being killed, the way, and just poverty stricken. And I'm not saying that other races is poverty stricken, but on a large scale, the African American culture in America has become extremely poverty stricken, other than those multimillionaires. Other than them, we are poverty stricken on a large scale, and no one seems to want to do anything about it. At the same time, we are dying at a large scale. We are dying deaths. They always want to talk about deaths overseas. They always want to talk about deaths in other countries and everywhere else. But the massive amount of deaths that happen in America, not just African American male, also with other citizens, but the African American male, I say that because specifically that number is larger than any other race in America. The deaths, especially the black on black crime, is not being reported. There's black on black crime all across America is not being reported. And I'm in just the city that I am in now, and I call my peoples in the other cities. I'm like, I didn't see that on the news. I didn't see that. But that happened there. It's not making national news. The murder, death, kills by black on black crimes, and just because certain events make the news where an officer is shooting another citizen is happening on a larger scale. That's just one of hundreds that may happen that you don't even get to hear about. No one report these incidents that happen throughout the United States of America of the brutality and deaths of African America from city to city to city to state to state to state. It's on a large scale. It's not just in one state. It's not just in one city. They are killing the African American male on a large scale, and we are also killing each other. And no one seems to think that it's a sense of urgency. That's the biggest sense of urgency beyond terrorism. We don't have no terrorists coming over here shooting and killing us. We don't have no terrorists coming over here and outright just killing me, shooting me for a traffic offense, killing me and shooting me for not changing my lane. That's America. Food for thought. Let's change this.